We English love pageantry. What's pageantry? Pa-a-g-e-n-t-ry? Pageantry. Pageantry means very, very smart, very royal, very traditional occasions. And we particularly love occasions that involve the Queen and the royal family. Here she comes again. You see, the Queen's coming in all the time, but she's very important to us in England. And I'll tell you one reason why she's very important. She's our biggest tourist attraction. Literally millions of people from around the world come to London and other parts of England in the hope of seeing the Queen. And she manages to attend so many royal occasions, and she's in her 90s. And she keeps on going, and she seems as fit as a fiddle, and we just begin to think our Queen is going to go on forever. But apart from royalty, apart from pageantry and ceremony, the thing that we love, and I'm sure you know that by now, is that we love our food. And we have some strange food, strange to you anyway. Our favourite thing, one of our favourite things, is fish and chips. What is fish and chips? Fish and chips is like this. You take a piece of fish, you cover it in flour and breadcrumbs, and then you dip it quickly in boiling oil. And it comes out all brown and crinkly, and it's delicious. And what are chips that go with it? That's potatoes chopped into little thin strips, and they're dipped also quickly into boiling oil. Oh, wonderful. Fish and chips, the national food. Oh, and by the way, until recently, when you went to a fish and chip bar, because they weren't like an ordinary restaurant, you just went there and you sat up at the bar and they slapped the fish and chips down for you. They wrapped it up in newspaper. Apparently we're not allowed to do that anymore, but I used to love, when I was a kid, going to the fish and chip bar and getting my fish and chips in yesterday's newspaper. And then I'd eat my fish and chips while I tried to read what was left of the newspaper. What else do we love? Oh, we love breakfast. Breakfast, the first meal of the day. My mother always used to say, it's the most important meal of the day, your breakfast. And we have something that we call the full English breakfast. All over the world, English people are ordering a full English breakfast. And I don't think I could eat it now because it has so much in it. It's got bacon, fried. It's got eggs, fried. It's got bread, fried. It's probably got tomatoes. It's got maybe mushrooms, and it's got black pudding. What is black pudding? It is not a pudding. It is actually something fried and made from bull's blood. What a bloodthirsty nation we are. So the full English breakfast is often known as the full Monty. Why is it called the full Monty? Now there's many different stories and myths about why we call a full English breakfast the full Monty, but here's the story I like best. Maybe a myth, maybe fact. In the Second World War, one of the great English generals was Lord Montgomery. Lord Montgomery, and he was particularly famous for leading the battle against the Germans in the desert, the African desert, in the 1940s, in the Second World War. And apparently Monty, and all the troops called him Monty, Monty used to order up the full English breakfast every morning. There they would be in like 50, 60 degrees of heat, and he still had to have the full Monty. The General Montgomery's full English breakfast. Isn't that a wonderful story? I want to talk to you about weather. The English weather. I mean, we hardly ever see the sun in England. When it does shine, we go mad. We rush out into a park or a field and we start to take off our clothes and get our bodies exposed to the sun. Isn't that extraordinary? Because in India, probably when the sun is hot, you're going to start covering up to protect yourself from it. But we're not like that. All the parks in Britain on a sunny day are full of people having taken their shirts off. Unbelievable, isn't it? But when it comes to weather, we are a land of extremes, because in the winter we get snow and ice. And the extraordinary thing is, we never seem to be prepared for it. I mean, countries like Denmark and Norway and northern countries, they're all prepared for it. They've got snow plows, they've got special trains, and everybody knows how to deal with it. But not in Britain. Every year, when apparently we least expect it, down comes the snow and it catches us unprepared. And the roads get closed, the trains don't run, the planes don't fly, and the schools get closed. So the only people who enjoy the whole country being covered in snow are the children, because they don't have to go to school and they can snowball each other. Isn't that an extraordinary country? Hot, cold, and the full Monty. Now, weather, that's an interesting word. Weather. It's interesting because I believe that certain Indian speakers find difficulty with w, the w at the beginning of where, what, when, whether. What weather? Now, here's a way to crack this w sound. Think about having some candles alight. So you've got these beautiful candles alight, maybe celebrating something special or a birthday, and you're going to blow them out when the celebration is over. How do you blow out a candle? What am I doing? Can you do that? Blow the candle out. There you go. Now, let that become a what sound? Whether, what, when, where. Now you've got it. So, lots for you to practice this week, but especially blowing the candles out and going what, where, when, which. And remembering how crazy the English are, rushing out into the sun whenever it comes out on a rare occasion. How crazy the English are, eating fish and chips and the full English breakfast, the full Monty. So, focus on that for your assignment this week, and I will see you next week for week 10 of your 12-week course, The English Way.